Hello, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where you are. My name is Rachel. I just had a hiccup with starting that live. It went vertical and I want it horizontal because I thought I'd go through my mixed media journal today and show you. If we have some time, I might start a few more blocks. So I'm making these scrappy blocks for a quilt coming up this year. Another scrappy quilt. I made a scrappy quilt last year and it was so much fun I wanted to make another one. So that's what I thought we'd have in store today. Welcome if you're watching on the replay, which many of you will be, because this is only my second live and it is probably going to be me on my lonesome for most of it, I would say, and that is okay. I'm just learning and getting used to it. So say hello if you do happen to pop in. Now I'm just on my computer on the side here. I want to try and watch it as I talk to you. So how do I do that? Live. Oh. Okay, you guys. Here we go. Okay. Wonderful. So you can ask questions as I go along. This is a fabric covered journal. It's all made out of card and paper. And I've put a quilt batting underneath this fabric here. So it is a little bit soft to the touch, but it's certainly sort of bendy because it is cardboard in there. And then all the inside is mixed media really. So there is some tea-dyed paper as a base, and then a lot of these images you can buy as digitals on Etsy and then print them out, and so I found a lot of these digitals that way. I've done this with my mum. She does a lot of these, and in my last video that I posted she showed those. Oh, now I just see a blurry on one side. Is that because the camera is... Just move it. Oh, that's better. And I'll just move it this way a little bit so you don't see my legs. Okay. Now I can also move it down a little bit so you can see it closer up. How's that? Yeah. Okay. All right, so I have some dressmaking pattern here. So it's see-through and you can see the digital behind. I love that. This is a piece of fabric with the raw edges. There's a little pocket. Okay, we have washi tape. We have these little cards that come out, pop out. And for these three I've put, the names of my family, my children, my husband, and they fit into this little pocket. Just pretty cute. Little cutouts from magazines, washi tape, and stickers, and little sayings. Pages from old books that we've ripped up. And this is all sitting on a base pretty much of the tea-dyed paper. Now I am a geography teacher, so I had to have a world map popped in here, and some more tags here. Very cute. With these tags we dyed the edges to make it look like it was old parts of a dictionary because I'm a teacher. Dressmaking pattern, another piece of fabric. I love the mixing of fabric and paper together. Okay, this is where it starts to get a little bit more interesting and personal. Actually, this is a tag. I might put this. There was a, here. from that pocket in the front. Okay, so another little pocket here, and I've kept this photograph of my husband and I on our wedding day. I love Vincent van Gogh. He's one of my favourite artists, probably is my favourite artist. So I've torn this. I do have a lot of books about Vincent van Gogh. I found an old one in a op shop, and I decided to actually rip it up and use it for art pieces. So here is just the eyes, which I love. Not sure where that tag goes. And I've read a book. It was called Van Gogh's Ear. It was a fiction, but based on truth. And so I've just put some quotes through this. A painter creating his most iconic and revolutionary work, pushing himself ever closer to greatness, even as he edged towards madness, and one fatal sweep of the blade that would resonate through the ages. Was a quote from that book. And there is a pocket on the other side. Some tags and found objects. So this was a broken necklace that was my daughter's, I think, and we've just popped it on here. Some more quotes here. Families are like branches of a tree. We grow in different directions, yet our roots remain as one. When we have each other, we have everything. So, now this is a vellum, I think it's called, and using a hole puncher, but a decorative one to make that edge there, and putting some raw paper on there, just some brown paper. So I do have some more quotes in here. These ones are from Dr. Thorne. Have you guys read Dr. Thorne by Anthony Trollope? It's one of my favorite books, and I really love the author because it's a fiction, and yet sometimes, especially at the start of the book, the author like speaks to the reader, and just with a sense of humour, which I really love. He says, "I quite feel that an apology is due for beginning a novel with 2 long, dull chapters full of description." I thought that's hilarious. And then he says later on, "This is unartistic on my part and shows want of imagination as well as want of skill." So it's just unique. Imagine an author writing like that today. You'd be like, what are you doing? I just love that. So Van Gogh painting, little tag in here in a side pocket. Again, just using dies to go around the edges. I love the ripped look. Lots of papers with French words as well. I study French. Here I've tried to put the dye, the brown dye, on the fabric to make it look really warm. Brown paper. Okay, so we have some more pages from that Vincent book. We have his chair. Beautiful blossom in a cup. Now just experimenting with cutting out and ripping up parts of the magazine, fashion magazine, but it's not a shiny one. It has that nice dull matte fabric. Pages that are different sizes. I love Van Gogh, Morgan Van Gogh. Every picture has a story to tell. It certainly does, because this was his asylum that he stayed in while he was unwell. Okay, then we have a gold page. So trying to have a bit of a theme to this page with the gold stickers and some gold thread, which I love. Just brings that bit. Can you see that? And a quote from A Midsummer Night's Dream: "Love and reason keep little company together nowadays," by William Shakespeare. I have made a quilt, an art quilt, about A Midsummer Night's Dream. So that is in my list of videos. You'll be able to find that. I think it's called like Art Quilt Explained, and I actually show you that art quilt and the reasoning behind that quote, why I picked that quote. That quote is also in the quilt. So now we have some more photographs. This is my mum and dad on their wedding day. Really a sepia photo. Oh, I'm sorry that my fridge is noisy. It's broken, needs a fix. Which I've just surrounded with balls of wool and quilt because that's very mum. So that's cute. Didn't really do anything with that page. It's gorgeous enough. Okay, what's here? So we have a pocket that is a doily, and when I think of doilies, I think of my grandmother. And here is a photograph of her. This is my mother's mum, Claire. So this is 1947. Claire in a dress made by her mother. So gorgeous, standing in an old Queenslander there, which would have been their home. A really big tag here, using lace. So my grandmother made her own lace. So this is her lace that she made. So that is all part of that together. Cute. Oh, is that more vellum? So you can print on this vellum. So I printed one of the sheets, and so it's see-through, like a plastic. Love that. Experimenting with drying out tea bags. So this is a tea bag on there. Another doily. Anything on that? No. Aida cloth, because I'm a cross stitcher. Butterflies, a green page. All right, here I am. I think I'm about 4 in kindergarten here. The glare on that photo, super cute. And then some other strong women in literature. So we've got Daisy, but these are from movies. Daisy from The Great Gatsby. We've got the Duchess, which, oh my gosh, funny enough, my daughter and I just watched that movie last night. The Duchess with Keira Knightley. And then we have Lucy from the Room with a View? Room with a View, when she goes to Italy. So then some now more an artistic page, line drawings that I've made of pot plants, covered with tissue paper that had dots on it. So the tissue paper was white with dots, and then when you Mod Podge that on, the sort of tissue paper is textured here, but it's see-through, so you can see through it. So just experimenting there. Here is Room with a View. Now, I was obsessed with Room with a View, and when I did a 2-year fashion course at TAFE, and this was actually a drawing I did, so I would have been like 22 years old when I did this. I made this outfit and it went down the walkway. Can you see? It's a bit of glare. And this was the artwork that I had with it. So it was just a really, really thin cotton button-up singlet with lots of lace down the center, and the lace would have been my grandmother's. And then I made this pencil skirt, and it had upholstery fabric, and it had lots of lace down the bottom of it as well. And so I have a quote from that book / movie of, because I just loved that. Now I have another quote over here. This one's from Emma, Jane Austen. I cannot make speeches, Emma. If I loved you less, I might be able to talk about it more, but you know what I am. You hear nothing but truth from me. I have blamed you and lectured you, and you have borne it as no other woman in England would have borne it. Mr. Knightley, when he is confessing his love to her. Okay. painting. I think this was, oh, pink paper, and I've painted white sort of over it. Did some line. I've got this black ribbon and a photograph. This was many years ago now because my children are teenagers. But this is when they were cute little toddlers with chubby cheeks. And my husband Dean. Not with chubby cheeks, but he's there. And our wedding photos, one of our wedding photos. So my look on my wedding day, I had the hair and the dress sort of, well, the hair's more like, well, the 20s or the 40s with that wave do, and then I had the halter neck, which is very 40s with a bow. So that's cute. And we're coming to the end. Just some more there. Room with a view, another quote. I count myself a lucky person. When I'm in London, I feel I could never live out of it. When I'm in the country, I feel the same about the country. And I liked that quote because I grew up in Brisbane. Grew up in Brisbane. My family's in Brisbane, so I was a teenager and uni student in Brisbane. But then I met my husband and we went and lived in Mildura, which is a regional town, and I lived there for 18 years. And so I love country living, but then I also love the city living. So I just thought that really spoke to me. And another piece of a tea bag. Another quote in there. This piece of paper here, it's newspaper, was actually like at a fish and chip shop. It was underneath the chips. So I stole that. Oh, in here is a mini book. Little bonus mini book. But the mini book just has paintings by Vincent. Crouching Boy, some sketches. Peasant House. Quay in Antwerp. Crown Imperials in a copper vase. Avenue in the Jardin de Luxembourg. A pair of shoes. Etc. etc. Pair of wooden shoes. And self-portrait in front of his easel. I'm not very good at lining this camera up. It's more over here, isn't it? All right. So that is that. And I'll just quickly open this up. This was another one that was, it was a Etsy buy, and my mum and my daughter and I all did one together. So I put this yarn on it. So there's not much to this, I don't think. Oh, I have put quotes in here as well. This opens. As you can tell, I love quotes. I love reading, I love literature, I love art. Oh, I actually use this as a diary. Huh. I didn't realise. Oh, all these pages. I haven't opened up this for years. Okay. And then this one opened up as well. Let's see what's behind here. Cute. All right. Now, these are the quilt blocks that I've been working on. So just scraps. So this is blue, all the blues. So I have made videos of these. You will be able to have a look at those. But I thought, what have we got? I thought I'd set some out and maybe start some sewing. I only want to make this live about half an hour. So last video was in my mum's sewing room. I went over there and filmed me stealing her fabrics. And when I mean steal, I mean take lovingly, because she has a great stash and she doesn't mind me taking some. This fabric here is a Minnie Mouse fabric because I have a niece called Minnie. So my mum made her something out of that fabric. Blue stripes, that's off a men's shirt. And you all saw me steal this daisy. I have hand-dyed fabrics, which I'll include as well. And, oh, speaking of Vincent van Gogh, here's some Vincent fabric I thought I'd include. And some spots. How does that look? Lovely. Except I might put Vincent in the middle because he deserves that. How does that sit? I like to move fabrics around until I'm happy. All right, so I might sew this one with you. Just pull my machine across so you can see that as well. Hopefully that's in the screen. Not quite, I'll move over. How will I fit that in? I'll have to go higher up, that's right. Okay. That's good. So, right sides together. So let me know if you have made any junk journals, or are you just a sewer? I find it hard on YouTube, the algorithm like prefers you to stay in your lane, yeah? But as artists, crafters, sewers, we don't stay in lanes at all. We have so many interests. So then it's like if I post anything about junk journaling, then the algorithm's going to get confused. Is it pushing my videos to people that quilt or to people that do? So what I'm going to do is keep this attached. Yeah, so it's like a So I pull the second one, can you see that? Yeah, the Vincent fabric, and then this one went there. Yeah, and then I also want to make clothes. Do I show that on my channel, or that confuse things? Let me know your thoughts on all that. Okay, I'm going to iron this, cut it open. Always iron your seams before sewing the next seams. That will help you get really accurate. Just wait for it to warm up a little bit. So when I'm going to iron these, I'll pop the seams on the top row and the bottom row to one side, the left, and the seams of the middle to the right, which I'll just flip and do to the left so that they're all going to the left. And then I'll flip that one back. to the left, to the left. So that's a Beyonce song. Destiny's Child, maybe. And then sew these together. So these were 2.5 inch blocks. And when you use a 1/4 inch seam, they'll all align there. Oh, can't open it. This looks cute. I love these fabrics. Excuse me, guys. I have a tickle in my throat. I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna cough. And this last seam. Okay, I'm going to give that a press. Just all the seams to one side is fine. I'll just flip it over so that there. I will leave you there. Let me know what you think of this quilt. I'm not going to put them all together like this, but you'll see what I'm going to do. You can follow along, just hit the subscribe button and you can see how this quilt ends up. It does look cool with all of the colours, but I've actually done pink ones here as well. And I'm planning to put them with some plain blocks as well, and perhaps even turn them into stars. So that'll be exciting. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.